We're just going to start to stir up the energy and we're going to swirl. So as you swirl, start at the base, at the tailbone, and work your way up. And we're not involving anything above the shoulders. The head is following the spine. And you make your circles, whatever feels good. And that's basically all it is. Everything we're going to do today is about you on your mat feeling pretty good. And let's go the other way. And again, there's no worry in the neck and the shoulders, just a soft breath. Stirring up the energy, getting us ready for the day. Finding your way into the center. You're going to take your fingertips to your shoulders and a gentle pull away. And we're going to allow the elbows to drop down. And we're going to pull our belly button in and bring the elbows towards each other. And then you're going to allow the elbows to lift up as you lift up your chest. So just a sweep, like smiley face movement to the elbows. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to pull in and curl. Inhale. And exhale. Just an easy breath, nothing forced. It should feel and sound like ocean waves, not stormy waves, just easy waves coming in and pulling out. That's the kind of feeling we want to feel today. And as we rise up, I want you to take the right hand and just place it on the floor. And we're going to bend that elbow and lift the left. So the left elbow is coming up towards the ceiling and it's lifting your ribs. Now, if you feel that this is not comfortable for the neck and shoulder, you can also put your elbow down on a block and just focus in on the ribs. And again, just let that hold there. Nice deep breath. Good. And then on your exhale, bring yourself back up again and round. And inhale all the way back up, arch. And just notice the differences in your sides. And then finding yourself back into upright. We'll take the left hand down either to the floor or grab your block. And you can place your elbow on it to release any neck strain, or you can reach the arm out. You decide. I'm using the block today. And you're going to lift the elbow up towards the ceiling without pulling the shoulder in. And keep lifting those ribs and allowing the right side of your body to soften and drop to the floor as the right ribs lift. And then on your exhale, bring yourself all the way back up again. And we're going to make this a little bit more deeper. So we're going to bring ourselves in a nice rounded through the shoulder blades and lift up and arch. So now you're making a circular motion with your elbows. Pull it in, navel to spine. Inhale, lift your heart up. And exhale again into that curl. Again, stirring up the energy, feeling as if you can lift that energy all the way up to the crown of your head. Beautiful. So we're going to finish at the bottom here and we're going to go the other way. So again, lifting the chest and then pulling it in at the sternum, at the heart. Inhale and exhale. Ocean waves. Last one, coming around. We're going to allow the hands to circle around behind us. Tense your fingers, so that means your fingertips are on the floor, and you're going to lift your heart up. And just expand through the chest. Don't allow the head to fall back. Just lift those collarbones. Maybe shift your ribs from side to side if that helps you to unglue. And then release. All right. So we're going to make our way onto our back. If you like to use your blanket as a pillow to keep your chin to chest, do so. That's a nice little stretch. And as we lie down, we're just going to stay here for a couple breaths just to kind of feel our breath today. Sometimes we lose track of where we are as far as our breathing. So you can place one hand on your solar plexus and one hand on your belly and just allow the elbows to fall down and notice your breath. Notice the rise and the fall. And as you bring your attention deeper, we're going to move into that a little bit more. And I want you to feel as if you can inhale and feel the upper lungs. Inhale a little more and feel the lower lungs. And inhale a little more and feel the ribs expand. And then exhale. Feel everything contract and pull together right at the belly button. Let's do that again. Inhale 1. A little bit more on 2. And fully on 3. And then let it tumble out. And as you continue to breathe, feel how the ribs open, they flare out to the side, allowing the lungs to full capacity. And then as you exhale, feel how the ribs pull in, maybe even pull down a little bit so that you feel the back of the body. Now our attention's going to be on the back of the body. So as you breathe in, can you feel your lungs expand into the back of the body? And now the belly. And let that breath tumble out. We're going to call this radiant breathing. So feel the breath through the back, behind the heart, and then the belly, and then the low belly. And then feel everything not fall into the floor, but wrap around like a hug. And we're going to keep that type of breath throughout our practice today. And you're going to allow the arms to open out to the side and the knees, just to kind of windshield wiper from side to side before we begin our cycle here on the floor. And then coming into the center here, walk your feet in just a little bit more. And you're going to allow the hands to come into cactus arms. So bend the elbows a lot. And so that your chest is really open here. And we're going to allow the knees to tip over to the right as far as they will go. And if it feels good, you can turn your head to look to the left as the left hip rolls up. We're going to hold this for a few breaths. And as we stay here in our breath, maybe imagine that breath moving into the left lungs and expanding there radiantly through the back of the body and then through the front. And then feel the exhalations as maybe your collarbones and your shoulders broaden. One more breath radiantly into the left lung. Filling it up, capacity, can't breathe in anymore. And then exhale. And allow the knees one at a time to come back. And then just breathe evenly between both sides. And then we're going to do that again on the other side. So allow yourself to tip off over to the left. And if it's in your practice today, maybe looking down the right arm. And we're going to breathe fully and radiantly into the right side of the body. And then exhale, allowing all that breath to tumble out. And maybe ease yourself a little deeper into that stretch, maybe into the quad, into the hip. And again, that radiant breath. And if it bothers your neck, just look at the ceiling. Filling up that lung to capacity, feeling that stretch, not huffing and puffing, just allowing yourself to be here as you exhale. And then one leg at a time, bringing yourself back and into the center. So we're going to start by pulling or drawing in the right knee into the chest. And you can hold the thigh. You can hold the shin. Just don't press down on it and give yourself compression in the knee. So wherever feels best, as you keep the elbows soft, the chest wide, you're going to slowly stretch the left leg out as you draw the right knee into your chest. And you're not stagnant. In this practice, we're moving. So you can move the knee around, just kind of feel the outer edges of your hip. And if something feels good and you want to keep it there, go ahead. This is yours, your stretch. And we'll slowly walk the left leg back in till the sole of the foot is on the floor. I'm going to take the right ankle and place it on the left thigh. Flex your foot. And I want you to take the ankle just a little bit past that left thigh, and your right hand's going to go into the crease. And you're welcome to stay exactly like this. If this feels good to you, you can stay here with a little gentle press into that hip. You can rock from side to side. And just only if it feels okay for you, you can also pick that leg up and draw it maybe in a little closer. But I want you to really emphasize that knee being turned out to the side, and you're keeping that ankle just past that left. Now, if you lose anything, back it up a notch. Place that foot on the floor. Make sure your elbows are soft as you draw that leg towards you. And again, a little rock and roll might feel pretty good. Couple more breaths, just tapping into the hip. And wherever we are, we're going to meet with our foot on the floor. Our hands back into the cactus arms to open up the chest, and let's extend the right leg up towards the ceiling, little circles of the ankle. Good, and keep that foot flexed. We're going to lower it down and lift it back up, just loosening up. And if your arms in the cactus don't feel good, just bring it down to your side. And then we'll bend that knee and place that foot on the floor, and we'll pick up the left knee and draw it into the chest. Hold wherever feels good. And again, you can keep your right foot where it is or find that extended leg. Just inch it all the way out. Move the left leg around, kind of making like a smiley face with your leg or a circle, whatever feels good. Any clicking, not good. So let's give yourself one big stretch here and then walk the right foot in. The left ankle goes just past the right thigh, and your left hand gently encourages the hip opener. And you are welcome to stay here and rock from side to side. Make sure your toes are to the ceiling here and your foot is flexed, and you're welcome to pick the leg up as long as you keep the essence of the exercise or the shape. Your elbows are soft and we're rocking from side to side, or foot is on the floor. You decide. And we're just going to make this your own practice today and just go right to the edge, but not past. Always feel good. We don't want to be holding our breath here, just that nice, easy breath. Radiantly breathing through all parts of our rib cage, deep and into the belly. And as we place the right foot down onto the floor, Take a moment before you extend that left leg straight up towards the ceiling. If you have a soft bend, that's fine. Point and flex and circle. Waking up the circulation in our legs. And then lower and lift. And then we'll place that foot down onto the floor. Make your feet nice and wide. Let your arms be nice and wide. And again, that nice deep rock and roll of the knees from side to side. Notice if it's a little easier, maybe you opened up those hips a little bit more and it should feel pretty good. All righty. So both knees into the chest. Lift your chest if it feels okay up to your knees and allow yourself to kind of rock and roll. Yes, you can kick those feet around. It's not Pilates. So kick it around a little bit and then find yourself upright. And we're going to sit with our feet in butterfly. All right. So when we're in butterfly, you want to, again, make yourself feel comfortable. So if you need to prop your hips up, you can. That is always a good thing. It helps create that flexibility in your lower back. Or you can stay seated on the floor, whatever works best for you. But I want to look for a nice straight spine here. So instead of letting ourselves come round and be like so, move your feet out a little bit away from you. And that will challenge your hips. Kind of move them in and out a little bit to open them up and prepare them so that they don't go really tight and not allow you to move. So let's ease into this now. And allow the hands to gently rest on the thigh to encourage that opening of the hip. That might be where it is pretty good. And instead of allowing ourselves to slouch, let's bring our chest and lift it and bring our hips slightly forward until we feel the inner thigh. Allow the fingertips to rest on the floor. And we have that little lean forward. But if you're leaning forward and you're rounded, the other shape to be in that will help you is to bring the hands behind you and lift your chest. We're looking for a straight spine chest opener. So you pick and choose, either leaning forward if that feels good and open and straight, or here, open and straight. Wherever you are, allow the jaw to soften, allow the gaze to look down your cheekbones, and think about the collarbones with a big smile as we hold for a couple breaths. Radiant breath, deep belly breath. And then letting that breath just tumble. Coming out of it, bringing the knees together. We're going to swing the knees around and come into a tabletop. Move things out of the way. And allow yourself to stretch here. Bring the back of the hand to the floor, wiggle your fingers, open up the wrists. And we'll do the other side. Back of the hand, wiggle the fingers, stretching out the wrists. And then find yourself in a tabletop position. Spiral so that the soft part of your elbows go forward and you feel the crown of the head nice and long. So I want you to let the belly just fall out. And just notice how you feel here. We're not allowing ourselves to sink in the lower back, but we're not engaging any of the abdominal muscles. We're going to do breath work here too as well. So without arching and curling the spine into cat-cow stretch, we're going to draw the belly button all the way up into the spine, and you're going to exhale all the air out without moving the spine. Every last bit. Draw in that navel, feel the abdominals work, and then slowly on the inhale, Let the belly return and relax all the muscles in the belly. Once you've achieved that, begin again. On your exhale, start to draw the belly button up. It's like you're lifting it up off the floor, but your spine stays really still, and you're carving out your abdominals, and you feel your ribs squeeze in. You got no more air left. And then allow the belly to let go. So that's called hugging the spine, and we're going to continue to do that, but in a little deeper fashion. So on your exhale, exhale as much air out as you can, feeling the belly lift up. And then I want you to hold there and breathe in just a little bit more. And then exhale more. All the air out. Feel how the ribs pull in tighter. Hold that there and try to breathe in. Feel the back expand. And now exhale all that air out. And then inhale, let the belly fall to the floor. If you're feeling it in the neck and shoulders, bend the elbows a little bit. Okay, just focus in. This is our last one here, and then we're going to add the cat-cow. So navel to spine, exhale all the air out on one. Hold the engagement. Inhale as much as you can without letting go. And then exhale again. All the air out. You're carving out your abdominals. And then try to breathe in while you hold your abs in. And then exhale again, all the air out. And then inhale all the air out of the abdominals. Now, cat-cow with that type of breathing. So as you exhale all the air out of your lungs, tuck in the tailbone and round the lower back. Pull your hips towards you without letting your head drop. That's one. Abs all the way in. Inhale there. And then exhale again, tucking that tailbone in. Feel the lower ribs lift to the ceiling. Two. And then again, inhale with that, and then exhale. Feel at that last point where your head draws in, chin to chest. And instead of letting everything go, tuck those toes under, and then breathe in again into the back of the body, and exhale, come into down dog. So take your feet wide on your mat if that feels okay. Let your weight shift back towards your heels. If you're feeling it in the neck and shoulders, bend your elbows just a little bit and let the chest fall forward. You're going to pedal your feet wide. Allowing your weight to shift all the way back into your heels as your fingertips spread open. And then I want you to lower both heels down, bend the knees deeply, like you're going to jump to the front of your mat. Shift your weight all the way back, far, 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 far. And then slowly walk your feet into your hands. And you can use your blocks here to raise the floor. That might be a nice place to be. And we're going to stay in a forward fold, chin to chest. And as you stay in a forward fold, allow the head to fall down. Let the elbows relax. And the hands are holding the blocks just to give yourself a little ease of the body. And we're allowing all the blood. So an inversion helps again with the circulation and stimulating the mind and the brain. So staying here in our inversion for a couple more breaths. Maybe shifting our hips from side to side by bending the knees. Maybe letting go of the blocks or the floor and holding onto your elbows. Might feel good. Test them all out. If it doesn't feel good, back it back up again. One more breath as we breathe in deeply to prepare. Take your hands to your thighs. And on your exhale, or even your inhale, extend the collarbones out in front of you. As you tuck in your tailbone, find that belly lifting, and then at the very end, We'll do a little bit of cat-cow here. Extend the tailbone, reach the collarbones all the way forward, and using your thighs just to rest the upper body so that you can focus in on your spine. Tuck the tailbone in and lift that belly in that exhalation. Inhale, tilt the hips away and reach and smile through the collarbones. And this one, we're going to prepare to roll up. So tuck the tailbone under, allow the arms to release, and we're going to roll up ever so slowly. In this position, you're going to inhale and let the arms lift towards the sky and come back down again through the center. Again, inhale, stretching out the shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. And finding our way with the hands right at the heart. So we're going to keep the right foot in the center of the mat, maybe in between the blocks, and we're going to step the left foot back. Not so far back. We're going to try to keep our toes facing forward, and we're going to do a little bit of triangle today. So I want you to kind of square off your hips, or maybe pyramid. Let's do pyramid. So reach your heart all the way forward, flat back. Eyes look forward. And you're welcome to stay here with your back flat. If that feels good, send that right hip back, reaching through your right toes. And that might be a nice spot for you to stay to strengthen the legs. Now I have the blocks on the highest setting, and that might be a great place for you to be. Or if you want, you can just stay right where we are. I'm going to allow the hands to find the blocks. I'm going to walk them out just a little bit. So we're going to go into Warrior 3. So take a nice deep breath, and as you exhale, shift your weight forward into the right leg and lift the left. Reach out through the heel. Again, you're keeping that back really flat. We're finding our balance here, standing strong in our leg. Your gaze is looking down at the floor. Push strongly into that right leg. And then as we lower the left, shift your weight back. You're going to turn your left foot out just a little bit so it's not parallel anymore. And we're going to come into Warrior 3. So bend the right knee so that the knee stays over the ankle. Hands come to the thighs, hands to the heart. We lift upward. And so here I'm finding my hips square. So send the right hip back and the left hip forward. Position that left foot so that it works for you. And look straight ahead. I'm going to continue to open up the hip. You're welcome to stay. If this is your place, stay there. You can lift your heart up a little bit to the ceiling and press the palms together. Or you can allow the arms to release by your side and rotate so that the palms open. Again, smiling through the collarbones. Stop when it feels good. And then just one more little place that we might want to try are the hands behind the back. If that's too deep for you, pick one that works. I'm going to stay here. Breathing into that shape. And then allow yourself to come forward towards the blocks. Spin that left foot around and take that step forward. We're back into our forward fold, bending the knees a little bit. And allow yourself to fold forward. Now, the goal isn't to touch the floor. The goal is to be able to support your lower back with your abdominals, that breath that we did, pulling the belly button up to hold the spine. And then deeply bending the knees, allowing yourself to roll up. Inhaling, the arms coming up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it down through. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This helps to stretch out the shoulders as we find our heart center. Pause. Eyes looking down at the top of the fingers. We're placing our left foot in between the blocks. And I'm going to step the right foot back. Again, it's to your degree. How can you place your foot and keep your hips still square? So this might be a different sensation on this side. And you may want to stay right where we are here. And it might feel really good to just breathe and feel the breath into the hands. Or it might be something that might work for you into the hamstrings and the glutes to hinge forward. Again, keeping the hands at the heart might be your place to be. Working on the strength of the back of the spine. Send that left hip back and the right hip forward, gently saying hello to the hips. You're welcome to stay here and work the strength of the legs, or you can hinge forward a little more and bring the fingertips to the blocks. I'm looking for a flat back. If you've rounded and collapsed to do the exercise, back it up. Need you to be really straight here. So the blocks come out just a little bit if this is where you are. Tip your weight forward into the left leg, nice and strong, reach the right. Keep your back really flat, not rounded. Reach through the right heel if this is where you are. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then we're going to slowly take our right foot down towards the floor with a slight turnout. Now you're shifting the weight more in the center as you bend your left knee. Now the wider the stance, the safer it is for your hips and calves. So here we go. One hand at a time, wherever you are. If you are staying in triangle, just step your foot back a little bit. And let's square off those hips into warrior one. Hands can stay right at the heart with your gaze looking forward. Notice the stretch through the right hip. And if this is feeling nice, maybe just to add a little lift of the collarbones. You can stay here. Reach the arms down to the sides or even interlace the fingers behind your back. You determine your practice. As we hinge our body forward, find your blocks. Stepping the right foot forward, we're back into our forward fold. Allowing either the arms to dangle, the head to dangle, or we rest on our blocks. And then rolling up. This time, take the arms with you as you roll up, all the way up towards the sky. Bend the elbows, bend the knees as we sit into chair. Again, that nice flat back, shift your weight back. Now, if this bothers the arms, reach the arms straight out in front. All is good. Gaze is looking forward. And I want you to see if you can go down a little bit, a little lower, and then lift a little bit. I want you to press into your heels, go down a little bit, and lift a little bit. And inhale and exhale. Can you pull the belly button in, just like that breath that carved out those abdominals? Work the abdominals here. Pressing into the heels. Gentle little lift so that you feel the back of the legs and the hamstrings and the glutes. And then I want you to forward fold over your legs. Straighten out the legs and roll up. Lifting the arms all the way up to the sky, hands to the heart. Let's step our feet wide. So wider, better. All right, and we're going to keep the hands pressing at the heart, and we're going to lunge over to the right and a little twist, and come back to the center, and lunge over to the left and a little twist. And notice that your knee is always tracking over your second toe. Pressing into your palm. And you can take it deeper if you want. If you're feeling that you want to go a little deeper, that's totally fine. But just make sure you're not pushing the knee forward, that you're actually sitting back and bending the knee. Yep. And we're going to do that one more time here to the right, and one more time here to the left. And then we're going to find the center, and we're going to allow our heart to reach all the way forward. Now, when you reach forward, shift your hips back behind you, and you're welcome to find the floor, or once again, grab the block and bring it out in front of you. You want to rock your weight back into your heels and allow the arms to reach out so that you're stretching through the back of the legs and the hamstrings. Kind of wiggle your hips until you kind of ease right on into that stretch. So hammock pose is just that. I want you to sit back like you're hanging out in a hammock. Your head is in between your arms. Place the block on the side that works best for you. And allow your tailbone to lift a little bit towards the ceiling, gently feeling that hamstring rush. And as you shift your hips from side to side, notice that stretch and how your hamstrings want to ease yourself into that. And we're going to move the block in just a little bit, or your fingertips in just a little bit, and we're going to place the left hand on the center. Our right fingertips are on our shoulder, and we're going to press into the block and start to twist off to the side. Now I'm going to look straight ahead and wring out the ribs. Now, if you feel your hips kind of twist along with you, that's okay. And then bring it back down. We're going to switch to the other side. Hand on the block, fingertips on the shoulders. Use your ribs to find the twist. Look straight ahead. And then bringing it back into the center. Heel toe your feet in just a little bit. And then turn them out so that your knees are tracking over your second toe. You're going to shift your weight back into your heels, walk your hands up to your thighs, and then sit up nice and tall. So as we work the inner thighs, I want you to feel the spiral open of the hips, pressing down, lift your chest all the way up, and you're welcome to stay right here with your hands at the heart. We're going to press into the palms. You can stay here, or you can come into cactus arms for this too as well, and feel the elbows reach out. So whatever works best for you, we're going to breathe in, and we're going to exhale. Squeeze it out. Again, exhale. Make sure your knees don't go forward. Get the knees to open up. If that's not possible, walk them in a little closer so that you can feel, again, the legs spiral open. Squeeze that breath out. Hold your abs in. Breathe in again. And exhale. Squeeze all that air out. One more time. Breathe in. And then exhale. Squeeze. And then rise all the way up. Pull down and bring it back in. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, come back in. Again, inhale, push into the floor. Exhale, open up those hips. Beautiful job. We have one more time. Exhale, bring it on down. Great job. From the hips, we forward fold over the block. Heel toe the feet back in again till they're parallel. Let your whole body hang and the arms dangle. Bend the knees so that they're soft, and let's roll all the way up. Arms following, lifting up towards the sky and down into our heart center. Awesomeness. Coming to the front of our mat, taking our blocks with us. Take a nice deep breath, lift. We're going to swan dive, so allow the arms to reach all the way out, touching the room, and your heart and your collarbone reach out. When you can't do that anymore, fold to the floor. Do a little half lift, reaching your heart and your collarbone forward, And using your blocks, we're going to step back into a plank pose. So keep your chest over the blocks. We're going to hold for 3 breaths. Soft part of your elbows face forward. Keep lifting your chest in between the arms. You have 1 more. And then the knees come down ever so slowly. Flatten out your feet. Shift your weight back towards your heels. Maybe open up the knees a little bit. And we're going to keep the left hand on the block. And we're going to take the right arm and thread it through. Keep reaching the left arm away and allow that shoulder to stretch. Now I'm keeping the gaze looking down in the center of the mat. Just allow that arm to thread through. I am not turning my head to look underneath. I'm protecting the neck today. So really just work on the stretch of underneath the shoulder. And then as you unthread, bring both hands to the block, come forward. Draw those shoulders back and down. And then again, round the lower back, sit back into your heels. Keep the tailbone tucked. Now you're keeping the right arm out there and you're going to thread the left arm underneath. Thread to your degree. This is not only a stretch for that right underneath of the arm, which is so important. A lot of tension happens there, but it's also for the back of the shoulder of the left arm, and your gaze is looking straight down. And then as you unthread, come forward, both hands on the block, come forward. Spin those feet back into parallel. As you come forward, lift your belly, round your spine, keep that nice roundness of your spine, and step the right foot forward. So you have a rounded spine. And then I want you to find a flat back as you reach your chest forward. So we're going to do a little bit of cat-cow here. Tuck in the tailbone, round the spine, send yourself back, round spine, and on the exhale, come forward, knee stops over the ankle, and the chest lifts. And again, rocking and roll. Now, if this bothers your knee, curl your left toes under. Round the spine, coming forward, and then feel the extended spine. One more time, round, going back, flexing the foot. And then as you come forward, we're going to find our half crescent. Lifting the chest upward. You can stay here, totally fine, or walk your hands up to your thigh and stay there. It all depends on your knees. What I want to do is tuck that tailbone under and send this hip forward without dumping into the lower back. You have to use those lower abdominals. Just like we did standing, you have a couple different options for your arms. You can stay perfectly fine right here. You can reach the fingertips down towards the floor and spiral open to open up the chest, or you can lace the fingers back behind your back. So you pick. And wherever you are, you're going to make your way forward. We're going to shift our weight back and send that right leg back. Open up the knees. Keep your hands out in front of you and sit back into into child's pose. Try not to let the head fall to the floor. You want to keep it in between your arms because the arms are up high. And then as you round your spine and start to come forward, start to take your left foot along with you. And we're going to rock the cat stretch here. So again, your right knee has to be in a place that feels good. If it doesn't, try curling the toes under. Rounded spine over the leg. Flat back as you come forward, reaching the collarbones through the arms. So if you need to raise the floor, if the medium side of the block isn't friendly to you, come to the high side, and that will even take a lot more out of the neck and shoulders. All is good. Again, rounded spine and straight spine. This is our last flow. And we're going to find that straight spine, hips going forward, chest lifting upward. And you're welcome to stay right here if that feels yummy to you. Or we can start to walk our hands up to our thigh, maybe stay there. Or hands down to the side, rolling the shoulders back, opening up. That might feel nice. Or the hands be back behind you. Wherever you go, no dumping in the lower back, no stress in the neck. Allow the day just to wash off your fingertips. And then we're going to round over that thigh and send the left leg back. Find your child's pose once again, placing the blocks in a nice space to stretch out the shoulders. And we're going to come back down towards the floor. And we'll lie on our back. And as we lie down, we'll do a little bit of legs up the wall. So if you have a wall, you can put your legs really up against the wall with your hips there, or you can grab a block and place it underneath your hips, which is what I'm going to do today, or you can just lift your legs up. So position yourself for legs up the wall. So I'm going to raise the hips if that feels nice. First, hanging out in my supported bridge, and then as you're ready, we're lifting one leg at a time up the wall. And this is a great way to either end or start your day. It increases the circulation in the body, flushes out the lymphatic system. So in this position or shape, you can let the palms face upward, again, to continue to open up the collarbones. You can lift your chin to chest so that the back stays nice and long. And we're just going to stay here for a minute today. So maybe circle the feet if that feels good, or just kind of hang out. I like the knees softly bent. And then as you notice, start to notice your body and where you're still holding on. We want every muscle in our body to be able to let go and not hold on to anything. So let's continue to do that. So let the body continue to let go and not hold on to anything. Even your abdominals and the shoulders and the fingertips. The face. And then 1 foot at a time will come down towards the floor. Pause a second before you move on. With the soles of your feet engaging the floor, a gentle press into the floor. And if you're on a block, shift it off to the side, take it out of the way. Allow the arms to lift up over your head, if that feels good, if not, cactus arms. And allow your hips to come down towards the floor. We're going to lift up the right leg up towards the ceiling and wrap it around the left. So eagle legs. We're going to tip the legs over to the right. to your degree. Now the arms can stay right where they are, or if you prefer, taking the right hand down just to encourage that stretch. So this is deep stretch for the hip flexors or the psoas, and you'll feel it at the beginning of the psoas. We want to be able to let go of that. And then if you allow your breath to come underneath your rib cage, you'll allow the upper part of the psoas to let go. And then bringing your legs back one at a time. Do that by unwrapping the right and then bringing the left. Let your arms come down to your side and just walk your legs out. And see if there's a difference between your right side and your left side. Maybe the left side kind of finds the floor a little easier than the right. And again, with ease, start to walk your feet back in again. And we'll extend the left leg. And eagle wrap it around the right. Allow the right arm just to float up over your head or let it stay in eagle. That's in goalpost. Whatever feels best for you. And we're going to tip the legs over to the left. Take your time. We're working into areas that are usually tight, that hold on to a lot of emotion and don't want to let go. So once you find your place, your sensation, you may want to take your left hand just to soften or even control that stretch. And we'll hold this particular place. Maybe breathing into the right side of our body, seeing if we can expand the right ribs. Noticing any tightnesses, any restrictions, and allowing that to let go. That radiant breath swirling around the right side. And then as you're ready, take the left leg off the right and bring the right leg back slowly. And then you find your way on your back. Allow the right arm to come down, palms facing up. And you might want to just stay here with your soles of your feet on the floor, or you might want to walk your legs out across the mat. And again, noticing. We'll do a couple breaths here. Filling up both sides equally. See if you can breathe evenly through both nostrils. Feeling the chest rise and then bringing that breath deeper into the belly and maybe a little more air into the ribs. And then keeping the tongue on the roof of your mouth, doing an exhale through the nose. Hearing your breath again. And exhale. And as you walk your feet in one at a time, we're going to tip our knees over to your favorite side and slowly make our way back up to easy seat. Once we're in our easy seat, allow the hands just to rest on top of the thighs. And notice if you feel a little more connected to the floor. Drop your chin, look down your cheekbones. Let the body catch up to your movement. And we'll take a nice full breath from the tailbone to the crown of the head and exhale it all out. What a great class today. Thank you so much.